What's a computer-generated image like you doing in a juke joint like this? And other things that Riker said on Next Generation. Today, we get into Blue Note, and Blue Note gets into us on this episode of Savor the Burn. Let's go! This ending sucks. Let's do the Scooby-Doo ending.
And I would have gotten away with it too. If it wasn't for you kids and that meddling dog.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Savor the Burn podcast. My name is Jonathan. Over to your right is Mr. W2. How do you do?
Doing pretty good.
Doing all right?
It's been a week, but it seems like it's been a minute.
It's been a week. It's been a whole last week. But luckily, here we are in the middle of it. You know,
yes, sir.
Into the thick of it, and we're getting ready to do a side by side, aren't we?
We are.
Of two, of course we are, because they're both here. Two offerings from Blue Note Juke joint whiskey here. We've got,
and you know what? I guess we're going to need a couple more glasses.
We are going to need a couple. That's what threw me off. That's what kind of confused me. So while he gets the glasses, I'm going to tell you about these two whiskeys real quick. Short synopsis. So what we have here is the Blue Note, the OG. Just the regular Tennessee straight bourbon whiskey, and no fancy anything about it. As far as I know, it's not bottled in bond. Hey, I don't know. The only time I've had this was in a cocktail, and so I don't know.
Just the whole Kentucky versus Tennessee thing.
Oh man! All right, I got you. Here
some circles might go fisticuffs over that.
They might, but
confusing
really, guys,
Kentucky for Tennessee.
Just fucking zoom out. All right, we're in the United States. Have some pride in your country. Come on, Jeebus, Jesus, tap dancing Christ, get over yourselves. But and then on the flip side of that, we've got a uncut and unfiltered, and it's straight from the barrel.
It is
straight from the barrel. It's a barrel pick from a local whiskey store right down the road here, and W2 is going to tell us all about that.
Yeah, I went in there specifically to get our regular smoke wagon.
Okay.
No, not the regular, the uncut, unfiltered smoke wagon, and that was also the day that I saw which we haven't tried yet, but the Caribou Crossing.
Okay.
And
did you buy it that day?
Mm-hmm,
okay.
I did.
Okay.
And they had the Caribou Crossing. They had up some of their allocated bottles that they have. It kind of makes sense, but it worked to my benefit because I went in there. I had been in there before. I saw that they had the store pick. Mm-hmm. I think it was $49, $54. I was going in there to get that anyway. And anyway, when they do get some of those allocated bottles in, they put them up at the register and they pair them with their store pick. So you have to get a store pick in order to get the allocated bottle.
Okay.
And so he's telling me this thinking, I'm sorry, you have to get both of them. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, I came in for this one and I want that one. So.
And who are they? Who is this? Where did you go?
This is the Whiskey Barrel.
The Whiskey Barrel.
Which this particular liquor store has been a couple things over the years, but recently they changed to the Whiskey Barrel up on Shawnee Mission Parkway. Small little store, cool guys. They took some cards, and actually the very first time I went in there, I'm walking around there, and he's like, "Do you have a channel on YouTube?" I'm like, "Savor the Burn." He's like, "Yeah, that's it."
Wow, how about that?
It was kind of cool. Yeah, and so I gave them some cards, make sure that they knew how to find us so they could follow along. So hopefully they did. And
hopefully they see this episode.
Yeah.
And if you know who they are and want to share this episode with them, grab a link, however you want to do it, and send it to them. And you can grab those links anywhere. Yeah. Our YouTube, Twitter, or X, whatever, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're on all those things.
Yep.
So we're going to start off with Blue Note, Juke Joint Whiskey. Actually, no. We're going to do both at the same time.
We're going to do them both at the same time. So you go ahead and pour them up, and I'll give us a little bit of info.
I like it. You do that? Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't mean to steal your catchphrase. I say I like it. I say that a lot.
So starting with the regular Blue Note Juke Joint whiskey. This comes from BR Distilling Company out of Memphis, Tennessee. This one is the age statement on this one is minimum of 3 years. So it's not a 3 year, it's a minimum of 3 years. Which is kind of cool. You know, we had never seen that before until we got into the Bakers, and that one is listed as minimum 7 year. So this one's minimum 7 year, comes in at 93 proof. The mash bill on both of these are exactly the same. So our mash bill is 70% corn, 21% rye, and 9% malted barley. So we have a good healthy amount of corn in here and a good healthy amount of rye in here.
Okay.
It says world-class whiskey from the heart of Memphis, Tennessee. Here at BR Distilling Company, we focus solely on crafting, aging, bottling, and distributing the finest whiskey possible. Our products can be found in fine liquor stores, restaurants, and bars across the United States. Held by BR Distilling Company since 2018. Their DSP is TN21021.
Okay, and we've talked about that. We've talked about that.
That's basically their distillery registration number. Was licensed in 2014, making it the oldest distillery license in the city of Memphis. So that's pretty cool. Better location means better bourbon. Whiskey lovers know how critical temperature variations are in aging whiskey. Located just north of downtown Memphis, BR Distilling Company is outside of the heat island effect many urban areas experience. Our warehouse sit just east of the Mississippi River in our own microclimate with high humidity and steady temperatures. It all adds up to the perfect place to age our whiskey. Crafted in Memphis, Juke Joint is Blue Note's flagship straight bourbon whiskey, bottled at 93 proof. Juke Joint drinks just as smooth neat as it does in your favorite cocktail. And I don't have a whole lot on the uncut version, but it does say in June of 2019, the 6-story rick house that stored much of Blue Note's inventory collapsed in a terrible storm. Most barrels were destroyed immediately, and even more in the coming months exposed to weather and soaring summer heat. Amazingly, a small number of barrels survived the wreckage, uncut and unfiltered. These limited bottles are a true expression and perseverance. I do not believe for a minute this is actually a bottle or barrel from 2019. Maybe it is. Maybe it possibly is. But our uncut comes in at 117.4 proof. Like I said, same mash bill. And this is actually a 4-year age statement.
So that's at least 2020.
So maybe, yeah. Now that I've said that and my disbelief.
When was it bottled?
With you helping me with the math there, yeah, that is very, very feasible. So
does it say when it was bottled?
Some put it on there, some don't.
It's fun little information to have. I mean, it's not like who was that? Booker's, a Jim Beam company. You get it? Yeah, they would put their barrels entire life story.
Yep.
You know, rolling down the rick house there.
And Baker's has a code on there that you can go to their website, enter it in there, and get the entire life history and follow the barrel from start to finish. Which,
I mean, for any whiskey nerds out there, it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah.
As far as being a whiskey nerd goes. All right, so we're working on this first one, right? Yeah. So we'll get kind of a idea as to what we're working with here. You got 93 proof, I think it's what it was.
70% corn.
And yeah, it's got corn
21%
sweet.
Rye and 9% malted barley.
It's like sugar, like brown sugar.
Dude, is that candy corn?
Candy corn, dude. The problem is, like, my thing is, I don't really fuck with regular candy corn. Sure. But if it's that blackberry flavored candy corn, I will fuck it up. It's so good.
I'm not a fan of candy corn.
It's hard for me to find it. No, I'm not either.
I put that in my trash candy.
Yeah, you trash candy corn?
Yep.
So this, yeah, it's got some good stuff on the nose. Maybe a light citrus.
Honey.
Yeah.
Maybe some wildflower honey. Toffee, maybe?
You think it's toffee?
Maybe.
I just thought it was like a brown sugar. It could be toffee. I don't really eat a lot of toffee. It sticks to my
I think
filling.
there's definitely some oak in there.
You know, Tennessee hits different though.
It does.
Like on the nose and on the palate.
Got some sticky legs.
Sticky? Yeah, I haven't really looked at the legs too much. Yeah, not bad. And it's got like a little bit of a sediment going on there because it is uncut. This one's uncut and unfiltered.
Do we actually say that on here somewhere? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's cut because it's 93 proof. It's unfiltered.
Unfiltered, okay.
It's crafted in Memphis, which I think is cool. I love the logo, the music notes,
Yeah.
the fat-bodied semi/hollow-bodied guitar, BB King style.
Yeah. What's his good? Lucille?
Lucille.
Yeah.
Yep. You ready to do this?
Yeah, let's get this one on the palate here. Try it out. That sweetness kind of crosses all over the palate, all over the tongue, and moves along. Mm-hmm. Ooh.
The vanilla.
Wow.
The vanilla kind of opens up.
Vanilk. Vanolac. Oh, whack.
Maybe definitely becomes a little bit more custardy.
All right, so I think it hits like tobacco. Like there's something on here like tobacco.
The
You
notes
ever, you ever chew tobacco?
I have not.
Oh, okay.
The notes I've got here say vanilla, allspice, apricot, and pear.
You picking up on pear?
I'm not picking up on
I
pear.
had like a pear, like a herbal pear cinnamon tea or something.
It
not
also
too long
says
ago.
viscous.
Viscous.
Pinkies up.
Viscous. So that means it's thick. Thick, like I like my goth chicks. I like my goth chicks thick. I'm gonna write a hip hop song. Let's see here. Yeah. Vanilla. Did you agree with any of those?
I definitely agreed with the vanilla and the allspice.
Vanilla.
Apricot, maybe?
Allspice, because you said baking spice,
Yeah.
and I totally agree with that. But you do think it's allspice?
I still think baking spice.
Okay.
A
I
little
put
bit more,
allspice,
a little
but
bit
with
more generic.
a little question mark next to it. But finish. I think finish is
Medium?
medium long, medium, and warm.
Warm. Yep. I think the oak comes through a little bit more on
Yeah,
the finish.
Oak and and sweet. I'd say it just kind of devolves into a just kind of a generic sugar sweet for me. You were picking up candy corn, really?
Kind of, yeah. On the nose.
Huh?
What about the
Yeah.
uncut?
Uncut? Haven't gotten to it yet.
I have no tasting notes because this is a store pick.
I took a little bit of water to kind of try to rinse it out of the mouth, and man, it's
It opened it up.
like immediately. It was like I don't know, like drinking nectar from a honeysuckle. It was something. That was wild.
So we've gone from 93 to 117.4.
I expect a little bit of a punch in the nose because, sometimes 100 plus proof
Thank you, sir.
whiskeys do that kind of thing. I mean, hell, some 80s, some 90s do that. Give that the little swirly.
It's very similar. We've had
I was sniffing on it while you were doing the initial reading.
We've done some side by sides, and the uncut and the barrel strength versions end up being vastly different.
Yeah.
This one I
Super
feel like
similar.
it's very similar.
You're also dealing with, 11 proof difference? Like,
Sure. Yep.
it can't be that much. But since it's also unfiltered and uncut, I expect us to get more pronounced notes off of these. So yeah, right off the bat, we got the vanilla, we got the oak.
More baking spice.
Baking spice I thought picked up on the palate, but
And what's interesting is,
here
usually
we're finding it on the nose. Both of
usually when we find the baking spice, we typically call out cinnamon
them. Yeah.
or nutmeg. I'm not. There's a little bit of cinnamon there, but it's a lot more subtle. I'm definitely picking up a baking spice, but the cinnamon's a little bit more subtle than I feel like it typically is.
I'm picking up like vanilla custard on the nose, like the that creme brulee.
Well, let's get this on the palate.
Yeah. That's a lot like what I expected it to be. Like the kind of the usual
Yeah.
the usual suspects, but just stronger.
Tennessee's hugging.
Yeah, Tennessee hug there on the palate. Once again, I'm getting the tobacco thing.
Not getting into tobacco.
Yeah, it's like tobacco. It's like
I might say licorice. Just a little hint of licorice. The vanilla definitely opens up into custard. Like you said, the creme brulee.
what about all right, licorice and maybe mint?
I can see that. So this bottle came with a neck tag that says award-winning bourbon, unbeatable value. It got a 92 rating from Whiskey Advocate, and it came in as the number 7 top 20 whiskeys of 2022. I think this is kind of cool. The back label of these, it's the same label as that one, except for it's got kind of a stamp over design, uncut.
Yeah, just lets you know. Pow. That's all the information you need. You can't read through it.
Other than that, it's everything else.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the exact same label.
You would have all the same information that you have on this bottle, but it's uncut. Nope. That's all you need to know.
The tape over the top cap is the same design. It's just blue instead of the white.
We're working with what kind of wood would you call that? Just kind of dark
walnut?
Some kind of dark hardwood, walnut, whatever topper.
It's got 3 stars, which is the Tennessee flag.
Yeah,
the 3 stars. They put them in a line instead of grouping them together. Yeah. But yeah, we get the little sticker designating this as a single barrel, hand selected by store pick, and unfiltered, uncut. So on this one, where we've got our 93 proof over here, it's got a gold and in blue says uncut, and then unfiltered. So everything else is kind of the same. The label itself, instead of having the shiny blue on matte blue for the music notes, they've done that in gold. Pretty much everything on here that's a kind of a shiny metallic gold, they've done or a shiny metallic ink, they've done in gold on this one. So it stands out.
Nice. We were looking at it earlier. The punt is relatively same, but the base of the bottle, as you can see, it's thicker over here on the uncut, the store pick bottle than it is over here, which is a little weird.
That is weird, yeah.
But I mean, sometimes who cares? But still, it's
and honestly, other than that, it's practically the same bottle. What's our neck tag on the regular one?
Neck tag on the regular
medallion.
OG.
So is that
Gold
San Francisco?
San Francisco World Spirits Competition in 2022. It got double gold.
All right.
Which, if you follow whiskey competitions, spirits competitions, double gold is kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's better than double gold? Platinum?
Platinum, yep.
And
and with all the different distilleries, with all the different whiskeys that are out there, there's not a lot that actually get that designation.
There's quite a few that'll get gold.
Or silver.
Silver, definitely. Very few will get double gold, and even fewer will get platinum. I think maybe I'm wrong on this, but did Ghostwood get a platinum on one of theirs? Does that sound familiar?
They got something. I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember what it was either. I thought it was platinum. Maybe it was silver. I don't know.
Ghostwood, if you're watching this episode, hey, reach out.
Yeah,
give us a comment.
Which you probably are. Come to find out, those guys check us out quite a bit. And they're always happy to respond to us in their lives on Instagram. So finishing out the tasting notes on the uncut with the
finish is a lot longer.
Yeah, the finish,
which I expected because of the more proof.
Yeah, I wrote down long and warm, oak and vanilla. We didn't really explore too much past the Tennessee hug, licorice, and mint on the palate. So between those two,
creme brulee.
You think creme brulee kind of carries through on the palate?
100%. And I would say it kind of solidifies the vanilla custard creme brulee on the palate. It's there on the nose, but it actually makes its statement on the palate. Sometimes we get something with a kind of a, lack of a better term, I guess, graham cracker-ish kind of taste to it. This doesn't have it. Sometimes we have
just wild ass tastes, that you wouldn't really expect to be so pronounced. Like somebody said, like cherry cola or, Dr. Pepper. That one does show up from time to time, which is wild to me. And I don't even like Dr. Pepper. You do though, right?
I haven't.
When you drank soda regularly.
Yeah, I haven't drank soda in, probably, I'd say 6-7 years at this point.
Mm-hmm. And the only carbonated drinks you drink now are the, like the LaCroix and, or, something like a
sparkling water.
Sparkling water, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd rather just drink.
But Diet Dr. Pepper was my go-to.
I'd rather just drink bourbon. Long road trip.
Jim Beam or not.
You've come so far in your journey, your Jim Beam journey. I'm so proud of you. My boy's all grown up. Hopefully I didn't just take a fucking pen through my face right there. Anyway, so do we have any other tasting notes for the palate on this one?
For the uncut, I have no tasting notes whatsoever. So it's all
to
our demise.
That's it. How about the finish? Long and warm, oak and vanilla. I already said oak and vanilla. Oak and vanilla. It's sweet, like some kind of, it's got like burnt sugar.
I'd go with that.
Yeah. Yeah, you brought up, who would you bring up earlier? Smoke Wagon, the uncut unfiltered, which you can find just about anywhere.
You can.
But holy smokes, is that a great bottle?
It's a fantastic bottle. And then if you find one of their private barrels, store pick, and it's got the little red wax medallion in the middle of it.
Oh, okay.
We got one from Bubble.
Yeah.
It takes it up another notch. That's one that we were like, dude, this is Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
All day long.
The thing about Smoke Wagon is the unsung hero. Like it's I did not see it. Like you said, it kicks it up a notch. It came notched. Like it was ready to fucking go. And that was just the regular plain small batch that they have.
Yeah.
It was that good. And your sweet sister and Timothy gave me most of a bottle, not too long ago, the Halloween edition, which is another thing I love about Smoke Wagon.
I mean, the Halloween edition,
glow in the dark label.
It's Halloween because it's a special label, but the juice inside is their standard regular offering.
Yeah.
It's a $28 bottle.
Yeah, less if you can find it on sale somewhere.
Right.
And then 4th of July comes along and they've got an eagle with a flag and it's just like, America! Fuck yeah, brother. And then it's so good. I was telling a friend of mine at work about it, Tim, that because he drinks Jack and Coke, like that's his thing. Every day he'll have himself a Jack and Coke, maybe 2, whatever. I'm like, you got to try this whiskey. You got to try this whiskey. And I kept telling him like, I'm gonna bring some of this in for you, but he's a big time germaphobe, so there's a 0% chance I'm gonna bring him an open bottle and have him try it. So I was like, because I was going to save him like that much of it. Like, try it neat. Try it with your Coke, with your soda of choice, with your cola of choice, whatever. And then let me know what you think. You should have plenty in this bottle. That's what I'm thinking. Hey, so I'm that's what's going on up here in my head dialogue. Like, this is what I'm going to tell him when I give him the bottle. But no, it dawned on me that he's a complete total germaphobe. And if you know him or don't know him, now you know. I have to get him a full bottle. That's all there is to it. Don't be afraid to buy your friends bottles of whiskey.
Yeah.
Do it.
They'll thank you.
Just do it. Blue Note, the OG.
Yes, sir.
Juke Joint Whiskey. Tennessee.
Memphis,
Straight bourbon
Tennessee.
Whiskey. Memphis. What do you got on the nose?
A 4.
Damn, girl, same. I gave it a 4. It had lots to offer. I mean, not as much as some, but plenty. I mean, corn sweet. I'm a fan of corn sweet. It had a little bit of citrus, not just honey, but wildflower honey, oak.
Mm-hmm. Instead of going down, let's go across.
Across?
So we go. So,
all right. What'd you give it on the nose on the uncut, unfiltered?
I went ahead and just stuck with 4.
Stuck with 4. So did I. It had more to offer, I think, on the nose. Vanilla, oak, baking spice, creme brulee.
And not that it's a bad thing, but the extra proof gave a little bit of a singe.
It did, yeah. Gave a little bit of a.
If you go in too hot,
a little bit of a knife to the nose.
If you go in too hot with something over 100 proof, it's probably gonna curl a nose hair or 2.
Expect it. Yeah. Honestly, expect it. Don't try to dock at points for that. And this really wasn't that. offensive.
You get past that, it actually was pretty even keel.
Yeah, it's like having a fucking full blood Irish friend that like you love hanging out with him, but he gets kind of punchy. Anyway, so you stuck it to 4 all the way across. So that tells me some things that you probably scored similar to me, and we're gonna get to that. Palate on the OG, what'd you get?
OG 375. I came down a little bit.
Dropped off. Wow.
I did.
Okay. Usually palate is more than what you get on the nose.
Right.
Wow. And on the nose on this one here, we got vanilla, oak, custard, baking spice, maybe tobacco, maybe allspice. Don't know. But over here on the barrel pick, right off the bat, we got the Tennessee Hug, maybe some licorice, maybe some mint. The creme brulee came back kind of full force and let us know that it was there. I'll take a touch. Yes, please. Thank you. So less going on the palate as far as flavor goes. So I'm interested to hear what you gave. I gave it a 4. What'd you give it?
I gave 4 1/4.
Okay.
I came up a full half point.
That's something.
Yeah.
A full quarter point. Oh, you're talking about over here. I got you.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So the regular was 375. Now I'm up to 4 1/4.
Yeah.
I felt even though they were very comparable, they brought the same things to the table. I felt like the uncut just opened up a little bit more and released and had a few more things to offer. So half point higher.
How about the finish on the OG?
OG back to 4.
Back to 4. Same here. Finish on the barrel pick.
Even though the barrel pick was a little bit longer finish, I felt like the finish was pretty on par. So I left it at 4.
You left it at 4. Okay.
And you?
I dropped it quarter point from what you got. Actually, quarter point from palate on that bottle at 375.
Okay.
For me, this whole bottle, besides bottle presentation, it seemed more harsh, I think, and more than it should have been. The tobacco taste I was getting was like licking an ashtray kind of taste of tobacco. But that said, that's just one of the tastes that's in there. Like maybe not licking an ashtray. That's way too fucking harsh. But like a burnt marshmallow.
Sure.
Burnt marshmallow.
Yep. Which I love.
Right. And so and I'm not particularly fond of. Like, you saw me toast it all sides ever so evenly.
So the thing that makes this bottle,
but it's still very good,
a little bit more interesting, it's a store pick. It's a single barrel. So the store, typically, we've talked about this before, so to rehash this, a store goes, I want to be part of your barrel pick program. So they contact Blue Note, they get the dialogues going. At some point, Blue Note sends them, whether it's 4 or 10, whatever the number is,
samples.
They send them a sample. And each sample is a sample from a multitude of single barrels. And whoever's in charge at that store of making the decisions, everybody's palate's different.
Yep.
So my palate is going to be a little bit different than your palate.
Absolutely.
Which is going to be different than your palate.
Yep.
That said, this bottle was picked by whether it be a single person or a committee of people. Bubbles they've talked about having us out there. We haven't been out there yet for one of their barrel
I'd like
picks,
to take them up on that offer.
That'd be cool.
Sure.
They settled on this single barrel, and typically the distillery likes to quick turn that because if that's the barrel that they want to get that in the bottle as quick as possible.
Yep.
Because if they don't, it's going to continue to age. It's going to continue to change and mature and all the things. And if they wait too long, it will be different than what they actually tasted. So they're going to try to bottle that as quick as possible so to preserve the pick that was done. all that to say, we are tasting someone else's palate choice.
Yeah.
It may or may not align with our palate,
And that's okay.
but I still believe that a store pick is an opportunity to, and saying it's an opportunity is my scapegoat out of this statement, but I believe it is the opportunity for this to be a better bottle than
I'd agree with that.
than a regular. I think Blue Note might have a uncut version that's not a store pick, and I believe that this being a store pick is the opportunity for this to be a better bottle than that, even if it doesn't 100% align with our palates. It's still an opportunity to get a slightly better because someone has gone through the process and the discernment,
and they chose.
Yep,
they picked that one. I'd like to try uncut, unfiltered from a batch proof, right? Yeah, batch proof. So like if they do one batch and it's 17 barrels,
sure.
they take all of those barrels, dump them in there.
Batch.
They uncut it.
Yeah,
it's unfiltered. It's just what you get is what you get from that batch, that day's run into all those barrels.
Yeah.
It ages in different parts of the warehouse, whatever. They pick it, they pull it, they stick it in all in the same big fucking bucket. They dip their bottles in there because I know that's how they do it. They don't do it. They just they sink their empty bottles into there and until it fills, and they stick it with the cork. That's not how it goes from the distillery.
probably not.
Whatevs. That's fine. In my head movies, that's how it goes. Sometimes.
You know the memes that we see on Instagram where they're always like, the face I make when they're pouring a barrel and it's the little squirrel with the puffy cheeks going. It's not like that either. But
It's not like that either? Oh, man. Fuck it. Let's get back into it here. Bottle presentation. We talked about the bottle.
Right.
We've got the neck tag. We got the dark wood stopper. We got composite cork. A cool label. I mean, we got a.
It is cool.
The outline of a semi-hollow body git fiddle.
it may or not be Lucille.
Probably not, but we'll see. Maybe it is.
Somebody
I don't
would
know.
owe somebody some copyright money.
Right. If
for
it
that.
said Lucille on there, yeah, the King family is going to take a pretty penny, and rightfully so. But they work the headstock, the neck, and the headstock into the blue, the U. This one over here, it's different color on the neck label. You've got the big uncut stamp on the back. You got the barrel pick medallion here. You got neck tags. I like neck tags. I probably should have scored them higher, but I gave them the both score of 3.75.
Okay.
How about you?
I went ahead and gave both of them the same score of 4.
4? Okay. So
I
you were more happy with them than I was. And now, like I said, I probably scored them a little too low. I should have brought it up. Not everybody has that neck label.
Yeah.
Not everybody has, the whole guitar thing, the bringing it back to music.
And if you're from Memphis, I feel like you'd be in trouble if you didn't pay homage to that heritage. But I was going to say, this is a love-hate thing for me. I love the idea of the uncut stamp on the back label. It's the exact same back label except for it's got that uncut stamp on there.
But you don't love...
But what I don't love about it is I can't read what that says.
Can't read what the back...
So if I wanted to read what this was and...
Your host.
And didn't go out to the website and glean the same type of information. It's actually not the same. It's slightly different. But you can't read that. So...
Nope. Yeah.
And if this is your first and your only experience with Blue Note...
Yeah.
You're going to go, that does me no good.
Right. None at all. And, we said it's just a blue stamp, but it's not. There's actually white in there, too.
It's printed.
Otherwise, you'd be able to see through it
Yep.
and read some of the words, but you just can't. You can't.
Yep.
You can't. That's all right. It's still a really cool looking bottle, and I'd be happy to have that on my whiskey shelf at home. What is this little R?
Oh, would that be the...
Is it BR Distilling? No?
Yep.
Oh, okay. It's a BR. So the R is surrounded by the letter B.
The BR Distilling.
What does that stand for?
BR Distilling Company.
All right, cool. All right, let's see, bottle presentation. Final score. My final score on the OG, I gave it an 8 even. How about you?
7 7/8. 7.785.
Wow. Okay.
We're close.
Very close.
Eighth of a point.
Goodness. How about the barrel pick?
8 1/8.
Okay. I dropped mine from 8 to 7 3/4.
All right.
7.75. Just because it just felt harsher to me across the board. That said, we talked about this one being a great candidate for a cocktail, and this one even more so. When it comes to...
I have high hopes for cocktails for that one.
This one, easy, old-fashioned, Manhattan, all day, every day. This one here, what do you think?
All the above.
I think this one here would pair well with
Boulevardier.
With coffee. What are your coffee cocktails? You got the midnight...
Let's do the Midnight Manhattan, or you could go the Revolver.
Yes.
Yes, the Revolver cocktail.
This would be amazeballs. Hands down, plain and simple. Blood orange. Was that a blood orange?
Maybe. Why don't you click on it and find out?
Challenge accepted. Nick and Nora chilled coupe glass. Combined bourbon, coffee, liqueur, and orange bitters in mixing glass filled with ice. Stir until well chilled. Serve strained into chilled glass, flame in orange.
Okay.
Peel
That's
over
right,
the top
that's
of the
right.
drink. That's why it looks darker. Garnish with drink and
Yep.
garnish the drink with the peel.
We didn't torch it, but we flamed it and
Yeah.
that's a technical term.
That's what it was, Friendsgiving. Our Friendsgiving concluded with this bourbon-forward cocktail featuring Russell.
Tim hated it.
Yeah, he did. That sucks.
He threw it in the trash. Actually, I think Faith probably saved it and finished it. But he's like, I'm throwing this in the trash. And I think Faith went, no, you're not.
Yeah, Russell's Reserve 10-year and the Rieger's.
The Cafe Amora.
But yeah, that'd be great. I think anything with coffee, this would make a great addition to it.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, hell, we've heard of Irish coffee, putting bourbon in or putting Irish whiskey in your coffee and drinking it that way with whatever. Maybe throw a 3/4 of an ounce, a full ounce, whatever, into your cup of coffee,
Girl, you're speaking about love.
and have
language
a Tennessee.
a Tennessee coffee.
Yeah. I don't know. Call me crazy, but
I have a long weekend coming up.
a long weekend. All right, I like long weekends. So I would think if you're looking for an interesting Tennessee unfiltered straight bourbon whiskey, look no further than Blue Note. They've got a great original offering. It works great in a cocktail. We've had it in a cocktail, and we can just imagine this being great in other cocktails. Just go to savortheburn.com/cocktails, and you'll see all the different cocktails that you could use this with. This one here, having such a more stronger kick to the palate, I think it would work better in those more stronger. It would work better in those cocktails that call for a stronger whiskey. I mean, this is 93 proof, which is stronger than a lot of people can handle, really. But this one here, being 117.4 proof, it's going to go great with other cocktails. I mean, go ahead and throw it in your Manhattan. Go ahead and throw it in your old fashioned. Boulevardier, for fuck's sake.
Dude, that has become one of my favorite cocktails.
Yeah,
I love them.
I mean,
I love them.
once you get the ingredients, and once you get the whole process worked down to a science like muscle memory, it's second nature.
Yep. I don't have to think about it anymore.
It's a great cocktail to have and be ready to prepare quickly and easily for your friends and your loved ones.
The hard part is, do I have an orange in the fridge that I can pull out and get myself a nice slice of?
Yeah.
Gotta have a wheel.
Gotta have a wheel. Everybody likes a wheel. And if you don't have a wheel, maybe you could just use the dehydrated ones. And if you're looking for any of these ingredients to elevate your bar experience, whether that be glassware or cocktail ingredients, look no further than savortheburn.com/shop. Right off the top, we've got, we're not wearing them now, but you've seen them, our Savor the Burn t-shirts.
Yeah.
And right underneath that, you'll find Flavier subscription link. Underneath that is where you'll find all the things to elevate your bar experience, or your home bar, or you're going to a party and like, hey, I hear you like whiskey. I hear you like to make cocktails. Would you like to do this for my party? And you're just like, oh, hells, I better get some supplies. Where do I go? Where do I go, W2?
SavorTheBurn.com.
/shop, and you're going to find just about everything you need. And they're all Amazon affiliate links to small businesses. And so, 1, you're helping small business. 2, you're getting cool stuff for your bar. And 3, you're helping support the podcast. And if you don't want any of that stuff, you got too much stuff as it is, check out our Patreon. You can be a Patreon supporter for just like a couple of bucks or $30 or, you know, whatever. We have different tiers, not tiers, but different tiers of support levels if you want to check that out. So, once again, you've heard us say it before. Join us in saying, no matter who you are, where you are, what you're drinking, who you're drinking it with, never forget, keep on burning.